Hello and welcome to the Vigilance Committee. And something just popped into my head as to what I would like to talk about. Tonight is Wednesday night, so it's open panel. I would like to talk about change. What kind of change is the auditing world looking for? We know that some of them are not looking for change, or they don't think that change can be made. Um, some don't even want to recognize their own government. Um, but it's there and it can hurt you. Um, so I kind of want to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to play a video here of America's Worst Cops, how they get their feelers hurt. Here comes the intro. Again, welcome to the Vigilance Committee, everyone. We do have one person backstage right now that we're going to bring up here in a little bit. Um, and Nikki, I think you said you had some housekeeping things that you needed to do before we get started. What do you got?
Well, I'm glad you said something about change. Because we did do a change to our normal drama-free, whatever you want to call what we do. And we have had a lot of reactions. So some of them were good, some of them were calling us out on the fact that we said drama-free. Some of them were half and half, but I do want to basically do an open email to everybody who did react in whatever way that they did react. Once again, thank you for your concerns. We appreciate all the constructive criticism. Um, One of the things was that the other party was not here to defend themselves. The other party was informed and invited and still has an open invitation to come and tell his side of the story. Um, when we had our guest who did request as supporters us to open up our panel for them, um, there's a lot of backstory that was not out for the public to see. Um, at the time that it was requested. So I do want to thank Full Court Press because he did put out a video with the backstory that explained a lot of stuff. I did post in our community post the link to that video. Once again, I am very grateful to Full Court Press for that. Um, and one thing that people have said, and not just as a response to us, but as a response to the angry vet, um, the angry vet, just like I've said all along, the angry vet is not the, I don't know, ruler or the rule maker or however people want to see of the auditing community. He is just another boot on the ground. We all have our differences. We all have different styles, or actually, not we, they all have different styles. Um,
Everyone practices
it's
their freedom in their own way, right?
exactly, exactly. And it's not up to anybody to call anybody else out on how they're doing it. It is, you know, like I've said, whether you hate them or you love them, as long as they're practicing their freedoms and getting the word out there, we have to support them. And I know that the Angry Vet did also mention that in his live that he did when he was driving for an hour, I think it was. Um, so again, I do want to, I guess, no, I don't want to. I was going to say I apologize, but no, I really don't apologize to our viewers who had the criticism that they didn't like it. Um, but I want to thank you for giving us that criticism and letting us think, and well, not let us, and making us think about what we do and
Yeah.
what we're standing for, and what we're hoping for the community and for our channel. So,
Yeah.
you
And
know,
so the speaking of community, and that's what I'm talking about. Some people don't even consider themselves part of the community, even though they consider themselves 1A. They don't really. I mean, they've given up on change. They're just documenting the demise of society. Um, they've kind of given up, right? Well, we haven't given up. We want to create real change in this country. Um, we want our government to act with nobility and act correctly, and we want to put pressure on them to do so. Um, and we want to change the way that they do things because they're tyrannical, and we want that. We want the tyranny to go away. Some say that's impossible, that it's a pretty lofty goal. Well, yeah, it is. And yeah, it does seem impossible at times. But that doesn't mean we don't try. That doesn't mean that we don't move towards that type of change. And we are interested in those auditors, people in the community, auditors, investigative journalists, activists. We're interested in helping those folks that really do want to create some semblance of change within our government. Um, and the others that want to hinder that or try to hinder that, look, the angry vet is not the end all be all. He's not the big boss, but he is a leader. And we say lead, follow, or get the hell out of the way, because we're not going to stop trying to make change in this country for the better for our country. Um, yes, and we do want to unite. And if you're not interested in uniting us, you just want to badmouth this movement or poo-poo it. Like we say, lead, follow, or get out of the way. Don't hinder us. Um, Having said that, there is a video that I want to play of somebody that is a consummate professional in the auditing world. And I want to present one of his videos here. This guy is always professional, always. And he's, I think you guys will recognize him. If you don't recognize him, and be sure and put his channel in the chat too, because This guy really knows what he's doing. And I'm going to go ahead and start it right here.
You can't legally film us.
Absolutely. You touch it here,
Most
right?
of the facilities in our city are posted. For some reason, this one's not. And so this is their domain. This is their house.
There is.
And we
Before
should
you start,
code block before.
who is this consummate professional that we're supposed to be posting their link to?
All right. I am free. Inland Auditing Media. And I
Thank
did
you.
subscribe to, I've been subscribed to him for a while. It's just on this business channel. We're not always subscribed. But, oh, Fact the Madness is in the house. We do have an open panel tonight, Fact the Madness, if you want to come up. I think
It
Nikki
is pinned in the comments.
There we go.
Yes.
All right, yes.
And we do not have a topic tonight. We just couldn't agree on one this week. So
Yeah.
question is what is the topic? It's whatever happens to come up.
Yeah. Anybody can talk about anything they want to. I do have a rule now for anyone that comes up on panel. You will not tell anyone else to shut the fuck up. It's not going to happen anymore. In fact, I'll throw you out of the panel if you do it.
Oh, wait. You mean I can't tell people to shut up?
Oh, yeah, you can. And I can.
Okay.
We're the channel owners. We can say, shut the fuck up, or mute you and shut you up. I kind of made a mistake and said that Nikki shouldn't do that last week. And yeah, she can do that if she wants. She's part owner of this channel. I don't tell her what to do. We're not going to be mean. We're not. We want people to join the panel and speak, but we also want them to do it in a, some semblance of a respectful way. Yeah, they can argue back and forth. They can call each other names, but shut the fuck up is not something that that we're going to allow anyone else but us to be able to do. So.
And the other thing is, and Cliff, you and I are getting better about it, but if we're going to have people up on the panel, we need to act like adults and learn how to conversate, and not everybody talk at the same time or yell and scream over each other. If you guys
Right.
do that, nobody can understand what's being said or
Yep.
anything.
And if Nikki and I are talking, shut the fuck up. So, because we got some housekeeping things that we need to get done, and if somebody's coming in and spamming in the chat, we need to be able to get our mods on top of that kind of stuff. And so, just wait until we're done, and then come up and talk. What's up, the Angry Vet in the house? Good to see you, brother. And it is open
Full
panel.
Court Press. Let's see. Okay, I guess we're not showing your video, sir. You've got FAC, you've got Phoenix. Full Court Press, you are welcome to come up. Angry Vet, you're welcome to come up. Big Mike Audits, everybody's welcome. So, sorry, Cliff, once again, your video gets
kind of being preempted.
put to the side.
Yeah. So people can talk what they want to talk about. All right. So I'm going to leave it up there just in case. But welcome to the panel, guys. Since Phoenix was here first, I'm going to let him go ahead and go first. What do you got? He might have walked away.
Oh, wow. Can you hear me?
In the basement for so long. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Great. Yeah. So, like, I was introduced to Blind Justice by your channel. And I heard he had some issues going on in North Carolina, specifically Rockingham, North Carolina. So I made a phone call.
Yep.
And recorded the call. And the guy was kind of an ass, sort of. And then all of a sudden,
say it ain't
yeah. and so I educated him, and he was smart enough to listen. And then he was like, about a 30-second pause. Are you done? You want to keep talking? No, I'm fine. I'm done. And he's like, okay. Well, we have this da-da-da-da-da. And he brushes me off like that. And then about 5 minutes or so later, he calls me back. It's not often I have to eat crow, but you will get a laugh out of this, Cliff. I think you'll enjoy hearing that video. I just posted it today.
Oh, did you? Send the link in the private chat, and we'll put it up if you want. Or we'll just send everybody to your channel to watch it.
Yeah, let me grab the link real quick. Hold on.
Okay. And while you're doing that, Fact the Madness, how's things going with you, my friend?
Good, sir. How are you doing? Looking good.
Outstanding. Yeah, you too.
Thank you. I was I normally do a show on Tuesday, which I didn't do. I was basically not what do you call it, a good steward of my time, and I got behind. And I stepped on Based's show for a little bit the other night. Was it yesterday? And then you guys were on, and you said come up, so I was like, I got to give some kind of redeeming qualities to my desire to be in front of the camera for you guys. So, so thanks for having me. And you don't have a subject, so I'm like, well, I could just come up and just smile real pretty.
Oh, we appreciate you. And you
Well,
are pretty.
Zach, well, yeah, you do have a pretty smile, and while you are up here, and I can actually speak rather than type, I have watched some of your things because guess what? I found out for some reason I was unsubscribed from your channel by YouTube. So I didn't even realize that I was missing videos. But I do want to thank you, personally, thank you for what you said about Cliff and I in some of your uh, shows. I really do appreciate it. I didn't realize that that's how some people felt about me.
Yeah, I
Now,
mean,
everybody knows Cliff and everybody loves Cliff. So, hey,
I don't know if so I mean I had the opportunity to speak with Cliff on a number of different ways, different venues, text, in person, etc. Not so much with you, but if it never was said or understood, then I've always been fond of both of you. There are not too many people that I'm not fond of until I'm not, right? So um, and that is definitely earned both ways, liking and not liking. So I think that you guys have a definite place in doing what you're doing, and it's much needed. And community versus dissension is always a good thing, I think.
Thank you for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's in your name.
So
Link in private
Phoenix, there we go. He's got this link, and we're gonna let's take a look at it here on the back end. And did you want me to actually share this phone call?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay. All right, let's do that then. Let me bring this over here. And remember, this is where when we featured Blind Justice, this is just one of the places in North Carolina that he had issues with. And everybody, do make sure that you put for Blind Justice's channel link into the chat, and have everybody go to the Rockingham 1 through 4. And this is who Phoenix called. So we're going to go ahead and unpresent this one. Stop sharing that one. And we're going to present this one. And so Phoenix does listen to these people, and he follows up. He does a follow-up for them. That's great support too, by the way, Phoenix. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for introducing me.
All right, let's take a listen here. See what's up.
Hey, my name is Richard Capel. I missed a phone call a little while ago. I was on the phone. I'm sorry.
You're fine. Richard, this is Chris Elliott with Rockingham County Government. I heard that you're with Phoenix Title II Auditors, and I want to give you a call back.
Oh, yes, sir. I audit for Title II compliance by public entities. I try to hold public entities accountable for complying with Title II. And I didn't see the link on your website. I'm disabled myself, so I'm disabled from EMS, my county 911 system. So my first 2 weeks of EMT school was EMS and the Americans with Disabilities Act. So I know it very well. And now that I'm disabled, unable to be on the ambulance and pick people up for a living anymore, I use my training to go to public entities and hold them accountable for Title II of the ADA. And I usually just look for voluntary compliance. And if you voluntarily comply, I'm a happy camper. If you don't voluntarily comply, then I report you to the DOJ and they volunteer you to comply.
10-4. Well, I have a name you can reach out to that person we've worked with, Disability Rights of North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm familiar with them, but as a public entity of 50 or more employees, since 2007, a public entity with 50 or more employees must name at least one responsible person as their Americans with Disabilities Act coordinator, and their job is to ensure that your public entity complies with Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And that person has the ability, for example, I have an electric bike that doesn't have pedals, so I have to register it as a moped. Contact the City of Columbia Americans with Disabilities Act coordinator, Miss Gwendolyn Connors, and she writes me a letter saying that I may ride my electric moped anywhere where bicycles are allowed to be in the city limits. So that's why it's important for your particular public entity to have an ADA coordinator so that that person can make reasonable accommodations for people like myself that are disabled and want to ride on the bicycle paths and have a good time and enjoy the same rights and privileges as an able-bodied person can. So if I was to report it to the DOJ and get the DOJ involved, first defense for a public entity non-complying with Title II of the ADA is a fine of $55,000 to $75,000 and a mandate that you name an ADA coordinator and comply with Title II, because there's no 11th Amendment immunities for public entities non-compliance with Title II. And any federal funds that you have been receiving since 2007, not having an ADA Title II coordinator during that time, technically, you don't qualify for Section 504 federal funds until you have an ADA Title II coordinator.
You left him speechless there.
Are you
I'm just,
you want to continue? You can continue.
oh, I'm just trying to give you a heads up about, your public entity should have their own employee as the ADA coordinator. And if I was to contact Disability Rights North Carolina, they would be saying the same thing, that y'all are required to have an ADA coordinator. So, and that would be like the sheriff being an elected official. He's required to have his own ADA coordinator for his inmates in the jail and as well as his employees. So,
Well, I'd have to say we put this out in February of 2020. Since February of 2020, the same compliance letter goes out to any sovereign citizen or group or any kind of auditor that wants to come in and audit our ADA requirements.
Whoa, wait a minute. Is he trying to compare you to a soft set?
He might have been insinuating that. I don't know, but I handle it okay. Check it out. You'll like it, I think.
All right.
To whom it may concern, this letter serves as a notification that Rockingham County is in compliance with all ADA requirements as mandated by the United States Department of Justice Civil Rights Division and the state of North Carolina General Statute 143-422.2. From this point forward, all questions directed to Rockingham County personnel in regards to this matter shall cease, and any concerns or grievances regarding the county's compliance with ADA regulations will need to be petitioned to the U.S. Department of Justice. And I can enclose in email or letter a copy of a complaint form issued by the U.S. Department of Justice, and we are fully in compliance. So,
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight here. So he just says we're in compliance and no need to ask, and that's it, right? That's basically what he's saying. If you got questions, go to the
I'm
DOJ.
fixing to stump him. and he will call me back.
You better. Oh my God.
and instead of threatening language about reaching out to the Department of Justice, we are fine. We get along with the Department of Justice. We've got a great relationship. We have disability rights individuals that we accommodate that work for us.
right.
I personally have a disabled child, so I take it very seriously when somebody tries to call and influence that we are not being compliant.
Okay.
So,
Well, can
Feel
you
free
email
to
me a
issue a
link
complaint.
can you email me a link to your ADA notice, please, sir? Which is 28 Code of Federal Regulations 35.
I can
106.
give you exactly what you did today. A phone call of any sort to any department of Rockingham County government
Okay.
and ask. We require a 30-day recommendation for a reasonable accommodation. But if you ask for that, they will send you to the 504 coordinator.
Okay.
You can actually go on YouTube where we've been audited multiple times with these folks that like to get on YouTube and
Yeah,
create their
they're First
and
Amendment
stuff like that.
auditors. Yeah, they're First
That's
Amendment
right.
auditors, and they're unlike me. What they're doing, they're totally good at what they're doing, but what I'm doing is catching public entities violating Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act, because you don't have a named ADA coordinator for your public entity, and you don't have a notice available on your website as to who the contact person is for the ADA.
Oh, okay, so we don't. Well, sir, I'm not going to argue with you. I would issue your complaint to the Department of Justice, and we would be fine to
Okay.
answer that complaint when they reach out.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks. Hello. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Chris Elliott again. Not so many times do I have to eat crow, but you were correct. The ADA coordinator is not listed on the main page. It's listed on our intranet.
Okay.
So I've let IT know about that, and we're working to get that changed immediately.
Okay. Could you?
So
Would
I
you?
apologize.
Would you be kind enough to send to my personal email address? Just say hello or something, and then I will send you information to help, which is the ADA Title II Toolkit for State and Local Government by the United States Department of Justice, so that you have everything you need.
So we have that, but it wasn't transferred when we changed our out viewing internet portal for our web page.
Right.
But I have that set up on the intranet, which only employees can see.
Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah, we've got that.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to look for the link, you know, and I couldn't find it. So.
Oh yeah. So I went in there in the IT director's office, and it was not on there.
Okay.
Safety and risk management wasn't even listed. So
Yeah,
it's bad.
it's sad. The reason why I started up is I discovered that, you know, all public entities with 50 or more employees are required to name at least one person. And that's what they do. They name one person. And then that one person retires. And now they're not in compliance anymore.
Right.
That's why I started up. Yeah.
I've been on person since 2017. That's why I take it very personal.
Oh yeah.
Somebody said, you're not doing it, but it's you wouldn't know because it wasn't out there.
Right. And all I'm looking for is voluntary compliance. That's it. You know, I'm not looking to sue anybody. I'm just looking for voluntary compliance. So
Absolutely.
anyway, but I appreciate your call back, and I'll check the website.
If I'm wrong, I'll eat crow. So,
Hey man, I appreciate you calling, you know, and letting me know. Thank you very much. So
absolutely, sir.
yes, sir. You have a great day, and I look forward
I'll
to
give you a call when we get it up.
thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Info.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. That's how you get it done. That's how you get it done, folks.
So I
Great
went to their
job.
website and looked for their public information officer, shot an email to the public information officer and said, please forward this to your risk safety manager. And then he replied an email to me, thank you for this. And then I sent him more information. Thank you for that. Send him more information. Thank you very much. I really appreciate everything. And I told him, I'm here for you if you need to bounce anything off a disabled person that knows what they're talking about. I'm here for you. So he said, thanks again. And, you know, I guarantee you that guy's going to take that $5 training course and become a very good ADA coordinator, especially if what he says about his son is true.
Yep. Awesome job. And see, that's change. I mean, that's helping in a small way to create change of what the government is doing. And that's positive. We need people like you.
And that's actually what we need more of, is the follow-up, is the holding accountable. It is, I mean, that was a great job.
Yeah. Need more of it.
Yeah, you don't have to leave home to advocate.
Yeah, but you leave home too. We've seen you out there. We've showed some videos of you getting out there and getting into it too. So, so you do your share of auditing as well. Which
I do. I never leave my house without a body camera, at least one.
Yep. So great job. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and present this other video again. I really like this gentleman because he is always professional, but he gets attacked too. It's not unusual for him to have somebody get in his face. Here we go.
Okay.
So am I
Are
being
you,
trespassed?
yes. Are you parked out here?
No, I parachuted in actually earlier. Halo jump. A little
So-
cold up there. I didn't have a coat. So
The cops will get your name.
you know what? I promise you this. They will not. You understand?
I personally, on behalf of them, am willing to risk whatever kind of litigation.
The camera, back off. Get the fuck
Get out of here.
You touched me or my camera.
do it at City Hall,
Ooh.
and City Hall is under construction.
Yeah, that's not helpful. Usually I just try to get a form, but I guess I'll just make a verbal public records request with you guys. Oh, sorry. Actually, are you guys with the city?
Yeah, we are, but we can't give you any information because we don't have it.
Oh, no, I'm not asking for the information.
Well, you can't give us the request. You have to submit it with City Hall.
What makes you think that?
That's just the way it is.
How do you know that?
Filming?
Yeah.
Could you shut that off?
No.
It's time for you to
Well,
go.
then get out.
Whoa. Whoa.
You can't legally film us.
Absolutely. You touch us.
Hey everyone. So what you heard just before there in that slow motion audio video clip is that muffled sound. That is that employee actually making contact with the microphone, which sits above the GoPro, of course. So that's why you can't see the tips of his fingers making contact with it, why you can only see the palm because he's right there and he's basically trying to mildly push it out of the way. And like you'll hear me mention here later, it's absolutely the slightest form of assault one could do. The umbrage I take with this, though, is the fact that these public employees feel entitled to do these kinds of things, to conduct themselves in those kinds of manners, knowing, absolutely knowing unequivocally that the police, prosecutors, the entire system will never prosecute them, ever, under any circumstance. Look what government officials get away with all the time, with much greater violence and whatnot used against citizens to violate their liberties.
Now, what he just said, I don't agree with. I think that's one of the changes that we need to make. No, I agree. They never charge them with anything. I agree with what he's saying, but I disagree that we will never get them to charge. Now, maybe not something for just touching somebody's microphone, but what do you think, Nikki? Do you think that this is one of those changes that we could try to affect as a community?
Not just as a community, but how about in society in general? I mean, you shouldn't be touching anybody anyway or their stuff. I mean, that's my opinion, but hey.
Oh, I thought you were going to say my line. That's just my opinion. But
Nope,
I'm right.
that's your line. That's your line.
Oh, that's funny. Fact the madness. Craig, have you got an opinion on this? Do you think that government officials should be able to just go around putting their hands on anybody? And do you think that if they are, that they're never going to be prosecuted for doing these things, or can we affect that change?
It certainly needs to be affected, and I think that the notion that government workers lose any sense of responsibility with regards to how they would act if they weren't government officials is fascinating to me. You know, you become a servant, and then you think you can do things like that. It just seems like it's just crazy. So yeah. That's effective.
It's almost like the power. They think they're just all powerful because they work for the government. I work for the government, so I'm important, and you're not.
Now, you know what? I wonder if it's a function, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. I wonder if it's a function of how government sometimes is inefficient, making the jobs of those workers that much more difficult. You know, they long lines, not enough resources, etc. So maybe it's kind of like a compounding effect of the way that they feel and take their approach to their job. That's not an excuse. I'm just saying, I wonder if that might be something that needs to be changed, obviously.
Yeah, good point. And the chat is making some good points here too. Cammed up caveman touching his battery, threatening with the ability to act upon is assault. Yeah. So I want to recognize some more people in the chat here too. Wanda Mice, good to see you. Bob Meoff, I've seen you a few times too. And I agree with this assessment right here. Yep, he does do a great job, and he is funny. The way I mean, he's so articulate. I mean, he can browbeat people without him really even realizing they've just been browbeat too. Just the way he says things, um, it's pretty cool.
And Foshin's in the house. Phyllis, we love seeing you. Daisy May, you guys, we just really appreciate you guys being here and spending the time with us. Any auditors or any activists or anybody in the community, I think that's what we need to say from now on, Cliff.
Yeah.
Anybody in the community who wants to be featured on our channel, please reach out to us. The email is thevigilancecommittee1864@gmail.com. And we have the Angry Vet. Are you ready to come up, sir? Okay. All right, everybody, get ready. Here comes the ugliest mother that we've ever seen.
That's not true.
What's that?
Oh, I do want to say something about
Liz, you
Foshin.
wanna
He's
stop
also another
sharing?
one of those. This is a public service. He's also another one that's always very professional. And of course, he's always welcome on the panel as well.
I love that cat.
Yep, me too. And then Full Court Press, you're welcome to come up as well. The Angry Vet in the house. How's it going, brother?
Same old same. We have a how should I call it? I'm trying to be as polite as I can and not like drop names right now, but there's a serious problem in this community that needs to be addressed, and there's no way around addressing it without looking like you're starting drama. So I'm going to take that burden on and address it. And I'll just address the issue at hand now. I'm not going to call people out or anything like that right now, but we call ourselves citizen journalists, right? And there should be a code of ethics when you are a journalist. Like, you shouldn't be lying. You shouldn't be twisting the truth to meet your narrative. All the usual suspects, right? You just shouldn't portray something that isn't exactly what it is just so you can appease your subscribers. You know, I've always had a you either hate me or you love me kind of thing as far as my personality goes. But there's some citizen journalists in this community that, I mean, you can't really call them journalists because they'll take all the facts. And don't get me wrong, I mean, facts don't lie, right? You know, a fact is a fact, but you can take several facts and delete all the stuff in the middle and put them all together and have one big factual thing, but your audience is only seeing half of the story, and that's a problem. And it's a serious problem, considering that's what our enemy uses against us. They say, oh, look at all these videos they edit, and they edit all these videos to make the story look like we're the bad guys. Well, no, for the majority, no, we don't. But there's some people out there that the editing that they do is very counterproductive to this movement. And how do we stop it is really the question. And because everybody knows that YouTube is, you know, just about all the watchers on YouTube are looking for that exciting video, that drama, and we've all seen that. Nobody really wants to see auditors shaking hands of police officers. Clearly, nobody wants to fucking see that. They all get all butthurt about that. But I don't think it's helping the cause, if that makes any sense. I don't think any of it is productive to where when you have to cut out 80% of your fucking video, all the shit that you did wrong, when you have to cut that out, so your audience doesn't see you as the asshole that you are, then we got big problems, and they're just going to use it against us, and it's sad.
Are you saying, Tav, you can edit for brevity, but not for the set of circumstances that is occurring? Because I mean, if the reality is, if you have only hour-and-a-half videos or whatever, then people are not going to watch that, right?
Right.
I got you.
I mean, dead air. I edit dead air out all the time, but I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna manipulate all my edits to make me look like a fucking queen, or you know what I mean? Like I'm not.
When the whole time you were just basically a Richard. Yeah, I mean.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know how else to say it.
Tell the audience the truth, and instead of a narrative, because we already know that that's what mainstream media does. They push out a narrative, and it's not honest. We know that the government lies, and they push out narratives, and they get the mainstream media to do a lot of it for them. Now, I think mainstream media is starting to come around, but we've got to make sure that we're doing the right things on our end so that we are relevant, so that we don't lose our own. We've got to have integrity in what we're doing, and because if people know that there's just garbage out there that are not doing this for the right reasons, it totally hurts everyone else in the movement that are trying to create change. And I keep hearing these guys saying, "You're not going to create change anyway. It's all is lost. We're just documenting the downfall of society." And
because they only know one way to do it.
It's a defeatist attitude too, and it's just not. It's not correct, and we're not gonna follow that narrative. Period.
Let me say something here, please. Wanda, your contents are not on trial. Your contents are the raw, honest view of what happens to you. You fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to put it, you don't edit your content to make it look nice. You keep everything in, and I mean
the good, the bad, and the
everything.
Yeah.
So your content is not on trial. I actually prefer your content to a lot of other people. I'll tell you the truth, there's times I prefer your content to our content. Our content is boring. Your content is attention getting, it's exciting,
the main thing is it's
all
truthful.
evidence.
It's truthful.
It's truthful.
He doesn't sugarcoat things to make himself look good. In fact, You know, a lot of people say he's looking pretty bad doing what he's doing. He shouldn't be cussing out the cops. He shouldn't be doing that. And everybody has their own style in how they practice their freedom. Sometimes it's unprofessional. Doesn't make it wrong. But yeah, we do want to try to become more professional because eventually things end up in a courtroom. And when it ends up in a courtroom and a jury sees you, you know, practicing your freedom in a very colorful way, they tend to not take your side. And we want to make sure that you have every chance of a jury taking your side on certain arguments. So
and I've experienced that, and I tell you what, I felt like the biggest dick in the room, like listening to myself, listening to the prosecutor play this video of me dressing these cops up and down. It wasn't pleasant, you know. It didn't make me feel good about the situation, and I realized in that moment that I'm doing this wrong. Like I'm going about this the wrong way. I need to find another angle. Now, don't get it twisted. Like, if they deserve it, they deserve it, and they're not going to have that video for the jury. I can guarantee you that, because I've also changed my ways on releasing video. Like, I'm not going to release video until my case is done. Period. End of fucking story. I mean, I'll release video, bits and parts of it to try to get the story across, but not to jeopardize my case. Like, and that's another problem that I think we're having, is these new people or stories with egregious actions. Yeah, to get the media involved, sure, but the media doesn't care. The only people that really care about these stories are the people that are watching it on YouTube and Facebook and the social medias or whatever. And I get it that we need to put the stories out, but who need, like, for instance, you have a police chief that just goes totally stupid on you, and you post the video, then all the calls come in and they use that against you, and then it just makes it harder for yourself, and then other auditors show up to where you were, or I don't know what else to how to explain it, but it just makes your job harder to run your investigation. And I see it all the time where people are just, you know, like with AVA, like the story that I was working with him on in his case, you know, we didn't need another damn auditor going into that hospital and creating a bunch of bullshit, you know, like, okay, great. I'm glad you have our back. I'm glad you have his back. I'm glad you want to, you know, be a part of the story, but the story's not over. His fight's not over. All you're doing is pissing everybody off and making his life a lot harder, if that makes sense. So when I see shit like that, it just pisses me off, but you know, it is what it is. And another problem with it are these cats that keep saying, well, you know, and I'm guilty of it, but they just turn a blind eye to it, and they don't stand up for what's right. They just say, well, everybody's got their own style, and you just need to let them do what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. Well, sure, we can, you know, yeah, do what you got to do, but maybe a phone call to the actual person that's dealing with everything to, you know, maybe bring you in or bring you up to speed or whatever, or, you know, write you in or whatever, however they call it, they fucking brief you and work with their plan. Don't just fucking bombard somebody's shit and do your own thing, and then say that you were there for them. I'm there for them, but here you are fucking calling people fat fucks and just for no damn reason whatsoever, and just to get your content. That it's stupid. It's a stupid way to do shit. And then, using the whole fucking, oh, we're just trolling, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's great. That's fantastic for you. You do your thing and fucking troll, but you ain't doing a goddamn thing to help the fucking movement. I don't know. It's where, like,
I think for the most part, what you are saying, I've always perceived some people's actions as too harsh or too disrespectful or those kind of things, and I've always thought that that's something that as a community does not look good. It's not the look that we should be going for.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually counterintuitive to the cause. I mean, my mom used to tell me, or told me at one time, if you're calling like customer service, for example, and I worked in customer service and collections, but she said, start off with asking someone to help you. I need your help. And if we really thought that the processes that we are trying to achieve, if we really thought about it and said, there's going to be another person on the other side of our request that's going to be doing it, and maybe the person that we're actually talking to, what if they were compelled to help help the person who was so nice to them, who was so respectful, who was in order, who was organized, those kind of things? We get a lot more shit done. Instead of the
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, actually, it sounds really good. I think all of us, when we analyze and we look at ourselves in the mirrors and we say, we need to change these things for the better, that's progress in and of itself, right? So if you are an individual that looks at your actions and says, man, if I had the opportunity to change this action, I would do it this way, just for the sake of making it better and making myself look good. We're representatives of whoever we are, our wives, our fathers, our mothers, the people who raised us, those kind of things. So at the end of the day, don't we want to represent that we are good people, not just off, at the process.
And they're the government's painting us to be these horrible people, and for good reason, because there's a large majority of us out there that are.
And it makes it easier for people to believe it when they disparage it.
Right.
Because you're acting up in a certain way.
Yeah.
And doing certain things to certain people that don't deserve to be treated in such a way. They need to be educated, yes. But
sure.
That's not the way to educate them. You just created an enemy for life. You just created somebody that's always going to hate First Amendment auditors now.
Right.
And they don't care about change. They'll be more pro-government now than they ever were. And that's the sad thing of it, because you're creating, just like the cops create a new activist every day.
Yeah.
Some activists are and auditors are creating enemies of activists every day, and we need to flip that script and get them on our side. We need to change the way that they think, and that's a lot to overcome, especially with our school system. It's they teach conformity continuously.
Yeah.
What do we have?
Hang on a minute, Cliff. Good guy activism. I think that can you turn on your camera real quick just so we can verify?
Didn't see a face. And I know what he looks like. Oh, okay. That's good enough. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry. We've got to do stuff like that.
He had to get his pants on.
Now you guys, and that's the thing, is like you said, Cliff, the cops create an activist every day. And
Who's that big
then
ass forehead at the bottom? Yo, anybody remind me of Silent Bob? Yeah, anybody ever told you that?
I was thinking Chuck Mangione.
But you're the opposite of Silent Bob. You refuse to be Silent Bob.
But Cliff, like you said, the cops create an activist every day. And then someone said that those of us in the community who attack civilians, let's just say, creates another person who's going to support the government better. I myself, and you can call me whatever you want to call me, ex-bootlicker, bootlicker, somebody who still knows what it means to respect the cops. And I know that there's multiple opinions up here. You know, that's what we need to do. Why we as a community need to become united. Whether you don't like the way the person's doing it, you know, if they're being an ass.
What are you respecting about them?
About the cops?
Yeah, what is there to respect? What are you respecting
How
about
about that they're human? First of all,
Are we
that's a
are we talking about cops or are we talking about humans?
I mean, we don't have any robot cops yet. I mean, I'm just saying. At the end of the day, they are humans.
we in New York, we got horse cops, we got dog cops,
sure,
we got robot cops. So you're respecting them just because human?
Well, I think there's a division of there's you can respect someone without knowing them, right? Even if they don't have a badge. Like you can talk to somebody, have a cordial conversation with somebody, and they just strike you the wrong way, or you click and you respect them. But if they strike you the wrong way, you're not going to automatically. Well, this is based on my personal experience. You're not necessarily going to totally go off on them and start, running them up the flagpole. But if they have a badge on, that's how I was. The minute I got a whiff or a hint of tyranny or whatever, it was game over. It was like, but aren't they? I mean, couldn't that police officer or cop, couldn't they just be ignorant? Couldn't they just kind of maybe be stuck underneath of somebody else's thumb? I'm just going through like reasons, because like if all I'm saying is if I could fucking change the way I look at police officers now, I think anybody can. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm gonna hold everybody accountable, and if they're assholes, they're gonna get it, and I'll probably usually end up pulling tyranny out of them and showing it. But I'm not just gonna look at somebody just because they have a badge on and think that they're no good anymore.
I think you should watch that YouTube channel, Police Activity. You should go watch a few of those videos and then come holler at me.
I know, I get it, I understand.
Do you?
But 99% of them, I mean, yeah, a very large majority of them are just fucking assholes and on power trips and this and that. But if we don't give them the chance.
Are we talking about the individuals or what the police is meant to be in general?
I was just talking about individuals.
Oh, okay. individually, they're all assholes.
Well, I
As
mean,
a,
so
as
you
a,
say
as a,
absolute, like an absolute. I mean, that's an absolute statement. Like we all know that that can't be the case, right? Granted,
have you
there are
ever
many.
have you ever had a police
Oh yes,
encounter?
plenty.
Okay, so
Plenty. So and there has been a time similar to what Tavis said that I had a mindset that was way different than what it is now, and there has been times in my life, you know, I'm 54 years old. Not to say that every 54-year-old person goes through this, but where my
maybe you
mental
guys are just having midlife crises, and like you're not thinking straight. I don't know. Maybe you need somebody like me to bring you back to reality.
I think he's being facetious.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for the answer to my question. You guys haven't given me like a legit reason to respect them.
Okay. All right. Well, hang on, Angry Butt. You say that we should not respect police
I didn't
officers.
say anything. I didn't say
well,
anything.
you asked why we respect police officers, and you gave several examples. Now, does that mean that I should not respect people in the 1A community because all I see are the drama dumps, the assholes, the ones pushing to get a reaction?
I mean,
it goes both ways.
You can't answer. You're answering my question with a question. I just want one of you guys to give me a reason why we should respect the police.
Well, I think we should respect the person, not necessarily the police. I mean, I'm not.
The question is why, Tav?
Well, because we need the good ones on our side. We like. We need like, how are we going to find the good ones if we don't respect any of them?
The ones that do their job the way they're supposed to are good ones.
Say that again.
The ones that do their job the way they're supposed to are good cops.
I don't know many that do their job the way they're supposed to.
Wouldn't they just be regular cops? I think the good cops would be the ones that are like, you know, like saving babies' lives, like a baby that was choking. I seen a cop save a baby's life like that, or like going the extra mile. You know what I mean? Like stopping playing basketball with the kids in the street, and you know, like knowing people's names and building, you know, community policing and building rapport with the neighborhood. Like I think that would be a good cop, but like just a cop doing his job the right way, the way he's supposed to. That's just a regular cop. You know what I mean?
But how do we find them if we don't respect any of them? If we walk into, you know, a red room expecting it to be green, we're going to be pissed.
Let me chime in.
If you land in a snake pit, if you land in a snake pit and one snake doesn't bite you,
okay, you want an answer. You want an answer to the question. I don't think we should respect cops.
Good answer.
It's the nature of the job is what I don't respect. I don't respect the nature of their work. I think they should all quit and go get real jobs that are not going to violate people's rights.
Do you respect the blue line?
Absolutely not. I think they're gang members. I think it's a
That's
gang.
what I'm talking about.
It's yeah. I mean, you can respect a person within the skin of that person, but the job itself, a cop, it's a contradiction of freedom because it's the nature of their job. They are told what their job is, and their job is to take our money.
Didn't cops originate as slave catchers?
Yeah, I was going to say that that some of the notions of what you speak of, that notion has been prevalent in Black communities or minority communities for a very long time. But I'm just saying that on as an aside, because there has been the notion that this has been occurring for many, many years. But at the end of the day, like I said, and I think what Cliff was saying, you know, the job, the function of what they do, maybe we don't like that because policing has become so it's tyrannical. You know, we don't like it on its surface because of the way that people have abused the power of the badge. You know, bound together to hide each other's wrongdoings. All of those things compound to us thinking negatively about cops on many levels. We don't see them saving babies ever, hardly, unless it's on
We
the
don't
news.
see them changing people's tires like they put on Facebook
Yeah.
accounts. That
Let's
narrative
see,
out there, like this nice cop is changing my tire. It
let's
doesn't
say,
happen.
excuse me. Let's say, damn, I almost forgot what I said. Let's say they don't abuse their authority. Let's say they don't have an ego. Their job function is to arrest us regardless. Their job function is to rob us and put us in jail. That's their job. Even if they were fucking nice cops, even if they had a hell of a personality and they were cordial and respectful, their job is to lock us up, put us away, steal our money, you know, asset forfeiture, shit like that.
Facts. I get it. Those are total facts. But
what do you think they're good cops? Is they're putting us in jail with a smile on their face? Like,
well, can we not I'm just trying to figure out how we infiltrate the blue line. How do we infiltrate the blue line to where
that shit is thick,
we're not
bro.
the bad guys?
That culture runs so deep. It's hard. I don't know how either, but it's a great question. Great question.
So deep, put that ass to sleep. Them niggas, they don't give a fuck about us, bro. It's them versus us. That's how they train. That's how they teach the fucking rookies coming in. You know.
Well, we're not going to change it, but
even if,
wouldn't.
Listen, Tab, even when I'm just standing there peacefully, quietly, just recording them, it's like, look at this fucking guy. He's one of those guys. Or like you really, I don't think they know what government accountability is. Like, they don't want the average American to watch the government, to do checks and balances. It's like, wait, why is that sheep outside its pen? What's that sheep doing questioning authority? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not supposed to be cop watching. You're supposed to be in line and obeying. You know what I mean? They want us fucking blind, deaf, and dumb and mute.
But isn't there a different way that we like? I mean, we've been dealing with this for so long. Isn't there another angle to come at it with? Like, what are we supposed to do? Are we all supposed to like take the fucking police exams and start pumping in fucking, you know, good cops?
Has anybody seen The Angry Vet? I don't know who this guy is. This guy. Yo, yeah, you guys know the fucking skinwalkers? What are they? The fucking invasion of the soul snatchers? Who is this guy?
You got on just after he was talking about changing his ways on some level. So yeah.
I heard him.
Oh, you did? You just thought it was bullshit. You like, wait a minute.
After he left Jersey, he's been saying it for a couple days. I was there when his midlife crisis started. It's progressing. It's progressing.
I just think that we need to try to change the whole culture of policing, change the whole definition.
I think Detective Matt Thornton is trying. I think it has to come from their side. You know what I mean? But like,
well, we can help in some way. Just, I mean,
by not pissing them all off.
We can do.
You also got to think about it. Like, this is their livelihood. Like, they're not going to step out of line. They're not going to challenge their supervisor. Like, it's very rare that you see a regular police officer tell a supervisor, like, yo, you're violating his rights. Like, and I'm going to report you to IA. No, because, you know, it just doesn't work like that. Like, it's their livelihood. They got to support their families and shit. So they're going to obey orders. They're going to stay in line. And, you know, like, people like Detective Matt Thornton and, like, We the People University, is rare. Like most cops, most people I know that don't like the police agenda and what's going on, like the atmosphere, they just leave. They don't stay cops no more. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, it's because they came in thinking it was something, the job was different than what the reality was.
Look at what's going on in New York with the CCRB, the Civilian Complaint Review Board, where like the public wanted to have some type of control over police punishment and what goes on. CCRB has no fucking authority.
No
All they
teeth.
do is fucking gather evidence and like refer things, but these people don't give a fuck about CCRB. I've seen an officer with like 18 fucking complaints, 5 lawsuits on CCRB, and nothing happened. So it's like a facade. Like, okay, the civilians you have CCRB. You guys have some type of control, but like in all reality, like these police do whatever the fuck they want and they get away with it. So.
Yeah, that's why I say the culture needs to change. And you might be right. It might be that they have to change it within themselves. The overall culture.
But I think we can help with that by I know it needs to come within. That's why I'm saying we need more good cops, and we're not going to find them if we're hating them all the time. Every single one.
Then you've exposed them, and because you found them, and you say, "Hey, this is a good cop." Next thing you know, they're on a call and they request backup, and they don't get backup, and they, wake up unalived,
Listen, fuck the police.
or they get chastised and bullied, and they're out. Good cops don't last.
I was at a point when I first started activism, I was like, yeah, I want to make a change. I want to, see good cops and hopefully make the bad cops good cops. And then I got arrested 6 times last year, and then I've been arrested 3 times this year. And then like after a certain point, it's like fuck that. I'm just gonna settle for exposing these fucking tyrants. If all I can do is expose these people for who they really are, then I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Fucking expose these cowards, put them on blast. Hopefully they get fired. And if they want to give out free lawsuits, I'll take it. Fuck it.
But they don't get fired; they get promoted.
Yep. There was a cop in the Bronx that fucking killed a guy on a moped with a 40-pound cooler, and nothing happened to him.
But with that being said, you want to expose them.
Yeah.
If you found an officer actually saving a baby or saving someone's life, in a burning building, would you expose that? Would you put that out there?
No, I would paint it to like they're still the bad guy.
Oh, come on now. I think he's being facetious there.
I would fix the. I would fix the video to where it looks like he was attacking the baby and he was the one that. Like he was the one that put the baby in. I'm gonna make a video and make it look like he was the one that threw the baby in the fire to begin with.
I know a publishing group that would hire you right now called Guerrilla Publishing.
He was.
My bad. Sorry.
Christmas too hard.
Bad Apple Media, can you turn your camera on real quick, please? Not gonna say anything about no shirt. Just turn your camera on.
Who, me? No.
Thank you.
I'm like, how does she know I don't have a shirt on?
So this is last
I had a shirt on the last time.
Was my
it was
camera on
100
for a
degrees
second?
in my house.
Have you ever watched my channel, Nikki?
Of course.
Yeah.
No, not you, Cliff. Me.
Nikki.
And no, I have not.
Oh
okay?
my Lord, Nikki.
No, now Cliff, come on. You guys got to remember, I am completely brand new to the the community. I
Well, I'm a small channel anyways. I wouldn't expect you to see mine.
well, no, I was
I got like 15
introduced to
subscribers.
the community through for public safety, and then I started working with someone, and that's better left in the past. And I'm slowly learning. I'm slowly coming to understand the community, but I still have the capability of understanding why the normal everyday Joe Blow, the normal citizens, the sheeple, ask, why are you in here filming these people doing their job? Why can't you just leave them alone? I'm
Who
still
the
learning.
fuck is this Martin Luther King guy, and why the fuck is he marching?
Yeah, but I'm learning. Okay, and
So,
I'm the type of
mods,
person.
hang on, mods. Let's go ahead and put Good Guy Activism, his link in the chat, so that Nikki can go and subscribe, watch some videos.
Subscribe to the Activist Avenue. Subscribe to my second channel, the Activist Avenue.
Okay, I will. But
And Good Guy Activism doesn't know this, but I have called him out a time or two in his comments section.
Really?
Especially when you didn't prosecute that migrant, I said now he's going to think that he can go around attacking other people, and that ain't cool.
What migrant?
You were down in Florida. You decided to go down to Florida and do some auditing down there, and a migrant attacked you.
A migrant attacked me in Florida?
Yes. Yes.
When?
Long time ago. Jeez.
When the fuck did I get attacked by a migrant in Florida?
You did go down to Florida, right? You did go down to Florida, and you were doing some auditing down there, right?
I went to Florida the only time I went to Florida.
It was like 3 or 4 days. Oh, you did some auditing though too.
I got arrested in Florida.
Cliff, they're saying that was Eli.
Was that Eli?
Yeah, I'm like,
I did have him confused. Okay,
like that,
I
bro.
apologize. I apologize.
I was thinking,
had
like,
you confused with Eli.
think it was Eli, like.
That reminds me of do you see when
Eli's always getting attacked by citizens. I get attacked by cops. I don't get attacked by citizens like that.
when Samuel Jackson said, "What Super Bowl commercial?" and the interviewer thought he was talking about Lawrence Fishburne. He's like, "That's the what's in your wallet guy. I'm the other guy. See, that's why you guys think we all look the same."
That's not the first time I got confused with Eli. Like, people in person be like,
your guys' style is a lot alike.
Eli, and I'm like, I'm not fucking Eli. I don't even yell like that to be Eli. And I do not say my peeps.
Oh yeah, my peeps.
Yes,
my peeps. He is a my peeps guy.
No, he
Tab
is
left before he got to tell his good news.
Well,
He said he had good news about the VA, but he left or he dropped off.
Oh yeah, he did. It's a good day for the VA.
He'll be back.
Yeah, he will be. I'll find out.
He rage quit last time too. I'm just joking. He's gonna watch this back and he's gonna say, "I didn't rage quit." I'm trolling him. Okay. Good Guy Activism. The soft voice, man. I love your voice, and I love how calm you are. You stay calm in front of cops. I've never seen you.
Spaz.
Excited. Yeah, I've never seen you spaz ever.
I got a few videos where I spazzed on cops. That's
Well,
they got
I haven't
me in
seen
jail.
those yet.
I got like 2 of them. I got 2 videos where I like blacked out on them, like, because they was like trying to jump me. They kept pushing me. I got like 3 videos where they just kept touching me, and I was like, Stop fucking
Yeah,
touching.
a lot of people do like to touch you, and I've noticed that.
Yo, I don't know
videos.
what it is. We've been trying to figure it out. Me and the other two Davids have been trying to figure out why the fuck do cops keep touching me.
Yeah, well, and civilians too.
Well, not civilians don't really touch me. It's the cops mostly.
They're probably intimidated by you.
Thank you, Full Court Press. Oh, somebody else paid me a compliment. Jay and Bot say thank you.
Full
I
Court
think
Press,
his
get
phone
ready
died.
for an email. Full Court Press, get ready for an email from Nikki. We definitely want to feature you on our channel at some point. So.
I think Tav's phone died because I just tried calling him and it went straight to voicemail. Didn't even
He's probably
ring.
having to plug it in. He'll be back.
Nigga
All right.
said Activision.
And welcome in, Bad Apple Media. What's your story tonight?
No, I don't have a story to tell tonight, but I got, some personal information. It's just we're sitting here. I was listening to you guys talking, but I typed in, that we need to flood the academies. It's how do we change it from the inside? Well, I know it sounds crazy, but it's possible. If ever, how many subscribers are out here that are, eligible that could become cops? There's a lot of departments that are low, on manpower, and why not? I actually know a couple of guys that I worked with that went to the academy here in Michigan, and one of them's a Madison Heights cop now. But before he got into the academy, he knew what I was about.
Did you ask him when he got out of the academy and reported for duty? Did they say, okay, now forget everything you learned in the academy. We're going to show you the real world out here?
No, I haven't asked him that, but I'm sure he wouldn't hesitate to tell me exactly what's going on. I'll find out if he's behaving different. I'll know.
Yeah.
I'll know how.
I just noticed there's a mofo that just showed up here. Rogue Nation, good to see you. What's up, mofos? And he's getting ready to do. I got to say this. He's getting ready to do a debate. Well, he doesn't call it a debate, but I think it's going to be a debate with Denver Metro Audits with a guy that hasn't been on YouTube for quite a while, Adam Kokesh. The conversation is going to be about between the Constitution and our form of government and anarcho-capitalism that Adam Kokesh is a proponent of. And there's more people that are proponents of that in the 1A community than I think people realize. Anarchy, anarcho-capitalism is something DMA subscribes to. James Freeman, Accountability for All, I believe. And I could be talking out of turn. They can correct me if I'm wrong.
Here's the deal.
But here's the deal. Yeah. So that's going to be an interesting debate, and I think everybody should go see it. It's on August 17th. I can't remember what time it is, but DMA did send out a notification about a week ago.
About a week ago.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. I'm definitely going to be there.
I'll be.
And DMA is going to be hosting it.
I'll be at my football game for that one.
Rogue is definitely a master.
What involves that for people who don't know? Can you explain it?
Yeah, government or no government? Should we have a government at all? Adam Kokesh says no. That government is just a way to control people. And Rogue Nation, I think, wants to bring it back to small government, but you have to have some semblance of government. Otherwise, you have total, complete chaos. Maybe we should actually try our Constitution because it's been bastardized from the very beginning. It's never really been used. So
that's pretty much what state national status is all about, correcting your status. Small government, what it used to be. Used to be 18 federal agencies that would basically take care of things, but it's gotten out of control when it turned it into a corporation. So, you know, I don't know exactly what the plan would be, but I know what I've researched. I don't know if there's a lot of similarities in it. I know, and I've heard Brian and I've heard James talk about it, or a few other people. I don't
Brandon,
quite
that's
agree with it.
817. 817, Brandon.
I don't quite agree with that approach, you know, because it's a corporation. The only way to get rid of it,
It's
you know.
yeah, they're gonna discuss it, so it's gonna be interesting. Getting both.
Well, I'm going to watch it.
Both views.
I
Absolutely.
didn't know about
Yeah.
it, but yeah.
Yeah. I just want to make sure everybody knows about that.
When is it? You say the 17th? What time?
Yeah, August 17th. Brandon will find out for us, I think.
All right.
I hope. And he'll post it in the chat.
All right, Feck, thank you for being here and for coming up and sharing your opinions. And once again, I'm going to say thank you for sharing your opinions on your video of me and Cliff. So you have a
My
great
pleasure.
day, and we appreciated your beautiful smile.
My pleasure. Thanks for
Okay.
having me. You guys all take care. Good night.
Night.
Thanks, Craig.
Thanks.
All right. And then Angry Vet is in the chat. I wonder if he wanted to come up and tell us what his good news was. Oh, there he is. Beautiful.
So yeah, huge win the other day with Jake Lincoln Leonidas and BCO Baltimore County Observer. I've been going up to the VA up at Perry Point to try to find some stuff out and talk to people, and been getting the runaround and all, but I forced them to make me a follow-up primary care appointment. So we came up with a plan. We got in there. I filmed from start to finish, all the way into the back through my appointment, back out of my appointment and into the lobby. And when I got to the lobby for the second time to change my address so they could ship me medications, all hell broke loose. And they wouldn't do it. And then she refused to give me service, so she told her supervisor to come out. Her supervisor came out, who ended up being the woman who recorded my arrest and was showing it to all of her subordinates, saying, "We got the angry vet. We got the angry vet." So I had some dealings with her, and then they hit the panic button like they always do, and the police showed up. Well, it turned out to be the police officer that put the cuffs on me, and he straightened them out, and I gave him some literature of what he was explaining to them, or trying to explain to them. I said, "Here's some literature on exactly what you're explaining." He then told them that I can't, the audio's kind of bad, so I don't know exactly what he called it, but it's either like a stand-up order or some sort of memorandum or something that came down to all the VAs from DC, straight from Washington, DC, explaining how we have the right to record and our appointments, and how the employees should be acting when we are recording. Got all this on video.
A directive.
Doing the same exact thing. Actually, I was recording way more than I was when I was, or for what I was when I was arrested. So it's a complete 180-degree turn of events, all documented on video, and the police saying on video exactly what we're allowed to do and why we're allowed to do it. And huge win. That
So it
was
came,
a huge win.
so I have a question on that then. So if it came down from DC, does that mean it's not wiretapping if you're recording everything, all your interactions with the VA?
It is not wiretapping. It has never been wiretapping. The federal stat, like before I even did it, I did all my research and found policies and procedures and guidelines and memos and stuff like that, all pointing to the fact that we could record. It even specifically says in a 1078, a VHA guideline, that there is no federal statute prohibiting it. And we are allowed to film our appointments for recollection purposes and self-preservation and all that. And basically, my investigation came to a head yesterday or the day before. I can't remember. Yesterday. Yeah. And they're fucked, basically. They're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
so your charges are going to have to go away then.
well, yeah. I'm not going to talk
I
about
would think, yeah,
that.
no, don't do it. Don't talk about it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much about that. But
Cliff, that's your opinion.
yeah,
Well, it's just my opinion, but I'm right.
you know how they work. You know how they operate. You know,
Yep.
they're gonna they want desperately to send me to trial and hope I get found guilty.
Yeah,
Yada,
they
yada.
desperately want to maliciously prosecute like they do everyone
Correct.
else that's in this community.
Yep. But yeah, huge win. It was like I slept like a baby last night, like a fucking baby, and I have zero worries about wiretapping charges now. So
Good. Awesome news. That is awesome news.
So does that mean now that you have this basically videotape the whole rulings from Washington DC that has been handed down? Does that mean if a vet in, I don't know, let's say Iowa, Flex Your Freedoms, if he runs into issues such as you did, does that mean that he basically has a case and that it will be, thrown out, I guess is the word?
well, yeah, it's always been written. It's always been in the guidelines, and it's always been, in the in the fine print, basically. It's always been there, but these VAs are telling veterans that they can't record their appointments and that, they refuse service when they do. So then they violate ADA and all this other horse shit. But
so what you're saying is it was just a cultural thing that they thought they were right on.
Right, exactly. And I'm not 100% sure that I have changed any of the policies in any way, shape, or form, but I am 100% certain that what I did woke everybody up. It made people look at what's actually happening at the VA. And not too long after I started doing this at the VA, I started getting reports from other veterans about how the police were treating them. They were getting treated better. They were getting seen faster, yada, yada, yada. So
Oh, you mean there's some real change coming out of all of this?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, to the point where it's kind of like, I think what happened was it's kind of like that stand-up memorandum talk that they sent
For
to
the
all
post
the
office?
postmasters. Right, right,
Yep.
right. And yeah, there's definitely, like I've been saying this whole time that I'm going to liberate every veteran in the nation. And I started seeing it kind of like even when I went down to Baltimore, one of the police officers told me on video that because of what happened at Perry Point, they have to do this and this and this a certain way, and I started to see the change back 6 months ago to a year ago, but now that we have a police officer on video saying that it just came down from Washington D.C., yada yada yada, that shit's really changing now. So yeah, huge win for veterans across the nation.
That is a huge win. And so Phoenix got a huge win today for what he does as far as the ADA and compliance with smaller governments. And then you got a huge win today. So change is actually happening, people. So all those naysayers out there that say we can't change anything, like I said earlier, lead, follow, or just stay out of the way.
Yep.
We're gonna stick with the people that are trying to actually make change. We're still gonna watch your content. We still like you. We still love you. And maybe you'll come along soon. This is a public service. Is one of those that is trying to create change. Yeah. Yeah, we need
the Carolina VAs are definitely and VA subsidiaries and satellites and shit like that. They're definitely the first on the list of visits that they're going to get from the angry vet, for sure.
Now, Jay Bay actually just brought up a good point. They wonder if any of the government workers who lurk in the lives actually recommend improvements and don't just make lists. Doubtful, but hopeful. I mean, that would be
that's a good point.
Really, yeah, that would be
We
something
hope
that
they are lurking.
and that they're learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, through my experience, none of them want to learn. There's a few cats in the VA that want to make change, but it's impossible for them. It's just like a police officer, really, when you think about it. And I've seen it. I've seen the progression. And what happens is they come in and they're all excited and they want to help veterans and they want to do this. And then they see the problems. So they figure out ways to fix those problems. And those are the first cats to get pushed out the door or burnt out. And it usually happens within the first couple years of their employment at the VA. And shit floats up to the top. And eventually you get directors that are lazy. And that's what happens. And then the veterans suffer. So.
Well, nothing. I like to say that nothing is impossible. But I believe even one person within the government, if they get the right idea and they want to create some change within their small area, I think it can grow. Same way with just one good cop that wants to change the culture. We need to encourage them. We can respect that without having to respect policing altogether. we don't have to respect the way policing is done today, but we can respect those rare cops that try to affect change in a positive direction of what we're looking for. So I think
I want to address Jay Abbott's comment. Yes, it kind of doesn't work like that. It actually, all the VHA guidelines and directives and things in the handbooks all derive, or they're all written to complement federal statutes that are already in place. And
laws.
Right. And basically what they did, that there's two things. They did one of two things. Either the state got involved, saw what I was doing up in Elkton, didn't like it, yada yada yada, contacted the VA, said, hey, we can fix this for you. Or the VA police knew exactly what they were doing, which I'm kind of leaning towards, and forum shopped because they knew that federal statute allowed what I was doing and decided to get the state involved to try to go into another different direction by saying they have concurrent jurisdiction in and on that property. Well, yes, they have concurrent jurisdiction on that property. But the thing with that is their concurrent jurisdiction only allows them to do certain things like traffic tickets, minor misdemeanors, little petty stuff. Okay. It does not allow them to come in and press state charges on someone who was arrested on federal property by federal police and for the same crime that basically mirrors a federal statute. Like if it had been some other crime that the federal statute didn't cover, okay, then all right, yeah, use the Assimilated Crimes Act. But even then, to do that, it has to be in a federal court to enact the Assimilated Crimes Act, and they didn't do that. They're retarded, basically. And
so whenever you get ready to go down to North Carolina, let me know because I'll hook you up with Craig, Fact of Madness. He is in North Carolina, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind doing some work with you, helping out. And he's also a veteran, so.
Now, Tab, Deb Anderson has that question on the screen.
Do you think the former officer ranking vets get more help from the VA than other vets, especially the homeless vets?
Absolutely. Most of the very pleasant stories that come across.
Brandon, you can turn your camera off if you want.
I've been there for 20 years. I've been in the VA for 15 years, 20 years, and I've never had a problem. And that 9 out of 10 times, that person was high up there, something, and not enlisted. So I do think there is a discrepancy there. I don't, that's an investigation for another day. But there's a lot of backdoor shady shit going on at the VA that needs to be exposed, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to turn every fucking hospital upside down and shake out every dirty little secret there is.
Hey, I came up to give you a reminder, Tab, to check your email.
10-4. Thank you.
Yeah, that veteran story is crazy.
Tab doesn't
think-
do email. Don't you know that?
I know he doesn't. That's why I'm reminding him.
Yeah, I haven't checked my email all day. I'm sure it's full.
Well, Brandon, do you have his phone number?
I do not.
You
Okay,
give it to
well,
him. Send it to
Nikki, if
him.
you want to just put that in the private chat, so Brandon.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No, I'll email
You
Brandon.
can email
the
it. Yeah, you
number.
can email it to me. Yeah. Don't put it in the back chat in case somebody comes up or something.
Right. Angry
Alrighty.
Vet, is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
I don't answer my phone like you don't answer email.
But yeah, huge win for veterans all across the nation yesterday. It was a beautiful day, and I slept like a baby last night, like a baby.
Stephanie has a message for you, Tab.
Oh. Oh, Rogue Nation's in here. Hey, Rogue.
Yeah, he said, "What's up, mofos?" And I said, "Oh, a mofo's in the house." Okay, so I think let's see, hour and 51 minutes. I think we've beat the horses that we needed to beat. We've had a good panel. We've had good people coming up, and we've got some things solved and resolved from when we did a show for Blind Justice. South Carolina Phoenix volunteer, ADA Title II auditor, went in and took care of some stuff there in North Carolina, and got something fixed for the ADA process there. The Angry Vet has let us know that a memo has been put out by Washington, D.C. that people can record in the VAs.
Possibly. We don't. I don't. It's plausible he could have been blowing smoke up their ass. You know what I mean?
Okay. It did come from a cop, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but
Don't they lie all the time?
yeah, they do. But if it's real, that's good, positive news. Hopefully, we can get that verified too. That a memo's been sent out by DC on recording. So, and that just takes going to the VAs and asking them, did you get a memo? And maybe find that memo.
Yes, I would love to find it. If somebody can, if people can start calling, don't call Perry Point, but if people
Or
can
if
start calling,
auditors-
doing their FOIA thing or whatever, how it's the FOIA experts out there. If we can try to find something like that. I was told today that it's possibly an internal thing inside internal police department type thing that we might not be able to get, but it is what it
Yep.
is.
So the community can start asking the questions.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get.
Doesn't mean we can't ask for it. It just means they won't give it to us.
Yeah. Well, or maybe somebody will. You never know. Maybe somebody
There's
will
my
have
band,
that.
Lincoln Square Leonidas. He was the one running the camera.
Awesome. All right. Nikki, do you have anything else before we end the stream tonight?
Just a reminder, Tab, check your email.
Yes, ma'am.
And then, thank you guys for being here, taking the time out of your day. I do want to apologize. My good computer is at the doctor, so I am only able to run one page at a time. So I was not able to keep up with chat today. But thank you guys for taking the time for being here, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. Have a great night.
All right. And I want to say one last thing too. Anybody that comes up on my panel, you're always welcome. I do want everybody to make sure that they are cordial and respectful to the
Hey,
other
Cliff,
people on the
shut
panel.
the fuck up.
And that will not be done ever again. Somebody coming up on the panel not going to name any names, told another person on the panel to shut the fuck up. I want to first apologize to the person that happened to, and apologize for not straightening out that situation and throwing that person off my panel in the first place. Again, not going to name any names on that, but don't ever do that again. If anybody is going to tell somebody to shut up on our channel, it's going to be me or Nikki. So let's end it with that.
Shut the
All right,
fuck up,
everyone.
Cliff.
Shut the fuck up. All
Have a
right.
great night.
Yeah, you have a great night too. We're going to all shut the fuck up and play this outro. And thanks for coming, everybody.
Love y'all.
In the heart of the Vigilance Committee, where the sun sets low and the spirits run free, we stand together, hand in hand, watching over the sacred land. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. Through the storms and the darkest night, we'll shine our light, we'll stand and fight. For the ones we love, for the ones we've lost. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll bear the cost. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. Through the storms and the darkest night, we'll shine our light, we'll stand and fight. For the ones we love, for the ones we've lost. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll bear the cost. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. In the quiet of the night, we'll keep the watch, we'll hold on tight. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll stand tall. Together we'll rise, together we'll fall. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. In the heart of the Vigilance Committee, where the sun sets low and the spirits run free, we'll stand together, hand in hand, watching over the sacred in the heart of the Vigilance Committee, where the sun sets low and the spirits run free, we'll stand together, hand in hand, watching over the sacred